Alright guys, so welcome back to the series. So in this one, we're going to be actually installing ArcGIS Server on the virtual machine that we just set up and got ready. If you're coming to the series brand new, have a look at the full series playlist in the description down below. If you just come here to have a look at how to install ArcGIS Server, you've also come to the right place. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so in the previous video, we had the server set up and ready to go with SSL and everything. So we can see, sorry if I shrink this again, we've got the server working via IIS, sorry. So AGS is another portal. This is AGS, working on HTTPS and IIS all working, ready to go. Now we're going to go and install ArcGIS Server in terms of its software. So let's go to my Esri to go and get the software and also do the licensing for it. So my Esri. Alright, so this is the My Esri website. I imagine you already know what this is if you're doing this type of job. So we'll go sign into it, put in your details. Once you're signed in, we're going to go to Downloads, ArcGIS Enterprise, and then we're going to go to Server here. So we're going to download both of these guys. So you'll need both of them in the same directory. You'll see here, it tells you to get both of these files. So we download that one, then we'll download the big 3 GB one. Okay, a couple of other files you're going to need is the web adapter. So if we go down to this one, ArcGIS web adapter for IIS, so we'll download that. And that's now downloading. ArcGIS Server will also need one additional component, and that is going to be the database support for it. So the ADBC driver for ArcSTE to be able to connect to it. But because that's part of the database setup, I will do that, or we'll talk about that when we set up the database. Okay, so for now we'll just take these ones, and obviously the web adapter will also require a couple of dependencies, but we'll deal with that when we get to that section of the videos. Okay, so of the series, I should say. So let's just let that finish cleaning itself up. All right, ready to go. So let's have a look at that folder. There's a few things that we just downloaded. We had these, we already installed them, but I'm going to move all of these guys into that software folder. So just cutting them, going to software and dropping them in here. Okay, so before we move on, we're going to go need our license as well. So go back over here, go to licensing, and then we can start licensing. We're going to go ArcGIS Enterprise, and yeah, it's not going to be Portal, it's going to be ArcGIS Enterprise. Click down here, we go 11.5, and then I've just got the developer license, so I'm going to go with the developer license. Got it just for this series actually. And we can go server licensing, roles and extensions, go next. Okay, so you need to license your ArcGIS if you want to connect. So if you want to connect ArcGIS Server to ArcGIS Portal and Data Store, and to act for ArcGIS Server to act as a hosted feature service, like the main ArcGIS Server capability, you're going to need at least a standard or an advanced license for ArcGIS Server. If you just go basic, you can't do the hosted feature services type thing through Portal, so among other things, right? But that's one of the core ones. So we're going to go and license it with an advanced license. So we go advanced. So you can go advanced or standard, but we're going advanced and we go next. And then in here you can choose any extensions that you want. You can also do this later. So I'm going to maybe do the interoperability, but I just don't want to confuse anyone. Yeah, let's do the interoperability here and then we'll leave the rest. So we'll go next. And then in here you can go either create a new user in here or use an existing one. So I've got my existing one, I just need to put my phone number.
Alright, and once you're happy with that, we'll hit next.
And then we're going to choose download, so we can just download the license straight away. We'll just call this ags.intelligis.io. And then we can select the deployment type, and that's going to be a brand new deployment, because that's what it is. We'll go create file, and we've got our license file. So it's called a provisioning file. So cut that guy out and also put that in the software folder. All right. So now we've got all of our software for ArcGIS Server ready to go. We've got our license ready to go. And we're ready to start the installation. So let's get straight into that. Okay, so back in our software folder, we're ready to install. So we just want to run the ArcGIS Server installation. This is the web adapter one, so don't run that. All right, I always like to do it in the software folder, so it's all in one place, so I can clean it up easily later. So software ArcGIS 11.5, that's fine. And that's gonna now extract all the files into that folder, not actually install it yet. So let's just let that extract now. All right, and that's finished extracting. Now it's gonna ask us if you wanna just launch setup straight after closing this. So I think we're happy with that. So we'll hit close and let it launch. Cool. So we've got our installation wizard now. So just hit next on that. We'll go next again, accept the license agreement. And it says we need, okay, so it says we're missing one of the dependencies. So that's desktop runtime 8. So we can go ahead and install that now. So if we go into the browser, we'll look for .NET runtime 8. We're going to need that later anyway for the web adapter, so you may as well go and get it. So we go down here. So you want this page, make sure you're looking at version 8 and not like 3 or something. And the one you want is the hosting bundle. So we're going to install this one. And let's see if it will let us install it with the ArcGIS installation running in the background. See how we go. Okay, cool. Let's hit next. And then, yeah, we're gonna run it as a GIS server and install it in the default location, that's fine. All right, so this is the account that ArcGIS Server is gonna run on, so the actual Windows Server account. I usually just leave this default. Now, if your IT services guys has said, no, we need to use a managed service account, let them create the managed service account, and then you put in the details for that service account here. Okay, so it's just your username, your password, and all that sort of stuff. And that might be on a domain or something that you can then use for ArcGIS Portal and everything. But for this use case, this is how we're going to be doing it. It's the local user account. You can also export your configuration file if you want, just so you have it somewhere. For me, I don't really need to do that. It's on my head anyway. We're going to install. It's probably good practice to do the export, but anyway, yeah. So the machine that we've set up here is like a 2 CPU machine. This installation step takes a really long time. So I will cut back once this actually finishes installing. So I'll see you when we're back. All right, so as predicted, that took forever, but we're now finished. So let's go hit this finish button. And that should open up, here we go, software authorization wizard. So we're gonna go, I've received an authorization file from Esri and now ready to finish the authorization process. So we'll hit browse and we'll just go find our provisioning file. So that was in C drive. And software, and it's just this guy here, the provisioning file. Go open, go next, and then we'll authorize through the internet. It's already populated. Might have to blur some of this out, but anyway, go next. This is the server. I feel like this is important. I'm just gonna copy that one, hit next. And this is the extensions. So I have authorization, yeah, for extensions, yeah. So go next. And then it says you have not provided authorization for network analyst or data reviewer. If you did do that, you know, you can tick these on and go and get the authorization file for them. Or, you know, however you set up your provisioning file when you downloaded it. So we go next, and this should authorize, and if everything goes well, we should be good. So yeah, congratulations, your software has been authorized. So we'll hit finish. And now we're going to go into configuration manager. Let's hit advanced and hit continue to localhost. All right, so now we're going to go create a new site, because you can actually have multiple ArcGIS server sites, and then you just join them together with this, but this is our first one, so we're going to create a new one. We can call this site admin, but I always like to just call it administrator. Okay, so this one will actually get taken over by the portal one when we federate, but for now we'll just use this one. Okay, so we can specify how we want to store our config, how we want to store our root server directory. That's fine. These are all the ArcGIS server files that we're going to create. I'm just going to leave them all default. You might want to put these on D drive or something else, but I'm just leaving it on default. I've only got the C drive anyway, so don't mind me. The dog's just trying to get inside. But yeah, all right, so this is going to take a little while. So once again, I'll go deal with my dog over here, but I'll cut back once this is finished running. All right, cheers. Okay, so that took a little while to run, but once it's finished running, you should end up on this screen. And now it's just going to ask us to log in. To log in with the administrator account that you set up during the installation of ArcGIS Server. All right, and there we go. So this is the ArcGIS Server Manager. It's pretty much up and running now. There's the next steps is to do the web adapter, because you can see in here it's running through localhost and port 6443. We want it to work through HTTPS, so we're going to install the web adapter and have it run all the traffic through IIS. But before we do that, we actually need to add the SSL certificate to the server as well. So it's been added to IIS. We also need to add it to ArcGIS Server. There's a particular URL that we need to go and access that, so I'll show you how to put that in. So if I go back to my local machine, I've just got this open. I'll put this URL in the description if you want to have a look at it, but you basically just need to follow this to add in your certificate onto ArcGIS Server, but I'll show you how to do that now. So we need to go to this location, ArcGIS admin, and then go to machines and SSL certificates, and then go and import our certificate, so our PFX file certificate. So let's go ahead and do that now. Might have to log in again. Yep. So we'll log in. And then it's machines. Click on the machine. So for me, it's this. And we're going to go SSL certificates. And then import existing server certificate. We'll put in the password. So this is the password of the certificate. Remember when we created the PFX file and we had to supply a password? This is the password for the certificate. Here we can put in an alias, make it easy to remember. So I'm just going to call it 0SSL, and then we'll choose the file. So we stored it in C drive software, and then in here, and then this is the 0SSL PFX file that we converted from the CRT earlier. You can reference that video, the previous video in this series if you need to. We just got to remember this one because we're going to go and add it later. So let's go submit that. And that should go and add it to ArcGIS Server. All right, so now that has been added, and we can see it added here. So it's gone and added also this intermediate. So we're going to go back to the machine, and then under here we're going to go edit. And then inside this section here, at the moment it's using that self-signed certificate. We want to put in our certificate. So we called it 0SSL, so we'll go put it in there and then hit Save Edits. And you can see the warning here, once this operation completes, ArcGIS Server may be restarted. This can take a little while as well. All right, so it's now using the 0SSL certificate, and we can run using HTTPS, but that certificate only works with that full domain name. So the next step is to install the web adapter. All right, so that's all for this video. Your ArcGIS server is essentially ready to go, but the next step is we want to run the traffic through the IIS web server, right? And we do that using the web adapter. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and install the web adapter, and then we'll be ready to go and power it up with a data store service before we go and federate them together, that server and portal that is. So I'll see you in the next one, okay?